I hereby introduce to you Mr. Michael Veazey.
Today's episode is brought to you by the 10K Collective. The 10K Collective is a collection of men and women who are doing at least $25,000 a month on Amazon in the UK, US, Europe, doesn't matter, but that is the figure as a minimum. Now, why that figure? Because it means you get to meet with like-minded people who are serious about Amazon, who are doing well, and who are ambitious to do better rather than knocking around with newbies, which isn't going to help you if you want to scale up from 6 figures a month to 7 figures or whatever you're ambitious to do, 4 to 5 figures. We have people who are doing up to around the $250,000 a month mark. And as I say, the lowest is 25K. So it's still quite a big spread, but we have amazing things that get shared. You will get 30 minutes each, minimum of 20, 25, even in a really busy month. And there's only 8 to 12 people at any given meeting. So what do we cover in the meetings? Well, we cover topics from how to stay in stock, make more money by not missing out and not being out of stock, dominating a market and the mindset needed, handling whole container loads, how to predict stock needed, for example, how to get a product on primetime British TV for free, as one of our members did back at Halloween last year. So these are not prescribed by me, and it's not a set course. It is simply what comes up, what you need to handle right now to move your business forward. It's very simple, robust format. It's doing really well. We've got great loyalty from the members. I think out of 10 people that have joined it so far, about 8 are still with us after several months, which is a real testament to the fact that they're getting value, and there's a great feel of community, and we have a lot of fun. We take business seriously, but we also try not to take ourselves too seriously. We have a lot of fun. We're very open, and we have a lot of serious debates that actually result in people doing stuff and taking action, like opening up in America, like going to Germany, like, doubling their orders. I mean, serious action takes place as a result of these meetings, and it's also good fun. You'll need to be able to get to London, as well as doing 25,000 a month minimum, roughly in dollars, and it's application only. So if you want to check that out, go to amazingfba.com/mastermind. Make sure you click through to the 10K Collective page rather than applying for the Zero to Hero Mastermind, which is just for those who are just starting out. Thanks very much for listening. Now, on with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Today I'm talking to Mike Zagare of PPC Entourage. So last episode with Mike, we covered a lot of very important details on how to approach PPC or Amazon ads. And this may not be the first interview you will have ever heard with somebody on Amazon ads, but it's always an important topic to revisit. Things are always changing, and you just need one golden nugget to pay you back, potentially thousands of dollars of either increased revenue or saved money, particularly the latter with Amazon ads. So please do listen to that if you want to hear the interviews with Mike. amazingfba.com/Mike Z, so MIKEZ or Z, depending which continent you're in. So very excited about this one, because Mike is now going to talk about Amazon traffic coming to Amazon off Amazon, which I think is a massive growth area, and there's lots of potential for finding real wins here, because most people never look into it because it's a little bit more complex. So first, Mike, welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for coming back.
Hey, glad to be here and looking forward to this chat.
Yeah. So tell us about this whole area then. So how big, first of all, how important is this? Because I always have the impression, and I think a lot of people I speak to do, that most of the traffic on Amazon is generated within Amazon, either organic or sponsored ads or possibly headline ads. Is that true?
Right. So it isn't true that most of it is. About 50 to 55% is internal traffic, meaning people are going to Amazon.com and they're searching for something and they're seeing your ads and all that, or organic placement, and they're making the purchase right then and there internally. But that leaves a lot of other traffic open up for grabs, let's say. So people are sometimes surprised that only 50 to 55% is what's the internal traffic, and like, where is everything else coming from? And that's what I'd like to discuss during this podcast. Absolutely.
Well, first thing to say is that that is a heck of a figure, because I mean, actually, that did surprise me, one, because obviously I did know the answer to that because we had a chat before you came on, but it did surprise me to know it was that big. I don't know what figure I had in my head, maybe 20, 25%, something like that. So actually, it's a huge area. So first thing, it's amazing to hear that. The second thing is, okay, tell us where this traffic comes from. Where's the bulk of that 45 to 50% coming from, and where are the significant sources after that?
Right. So the bulk of it's coming directly from Google. So you could say search engines, but Google is the main search engine that's driving that traffic. So people are going on Google, they're searching for something. Let's say they have a question about a particular product or whatever it is, and then they'll see an Amazon listing below that with the 5 stars and maybe click on that Amazon listing, and now they're on Amazon. or they're just searching for a particular product, and maybe they're lazy and they don't want to go to Amazon. They want to go to Google first. That's where they start everything. And then they go into Amazon and then find your product there. So that represents 30 to 33% of traffic to Amazon is coming from search engines, but predominantly on Google.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And actually, given that Google is built into most people's browsers these days, especially on a phone, I mean, I certainly use it that way. And I guess even if it's Yahoo or whatever else, Bing, I guess it functions the same way for Amazon, right? So that makes a lot of sense that people just start with the most immediate thing, which is I just start here and it automatically populates to Google. So that's pretty major. And in a way, it's not a surprise, I suppose, if you think outside the Amazon box. So, well, let's break it down a bit further before we plunge into any individual source. So apart from that, we've got what, 20%-ish left? How is that split up?
Right. So the majority of that, the 10%, about 7 to 10% is coming from affiliate sites. So if you ever go on Google and you type in, pretty much anything. The other day I was typing in a CD, a big train. I'm into progressive rock music, probably big in the UK. I don't know if you guys have heard of them, but anyways, I typed in big train and I saw the first listing was progarchives.com, and I clicked on that to see a CD review of big train. And right below that was all listings from Amazon, all how to buy this CD, and it was all linking to Amazon. So the point is there's all of these affiliate sites, which you can get in front of all these affiliates by doing a couple different things. There's all these different affiliate sites that are directing their traffic to Amazon because they know that they get affiliate commission, and they know that people are ready to buy when they see that darn logo, that Amazon logo. So that's 7 to 10%. And the rest of it is coming mainly, we got about 3 to 4% coming from social media, which is really big. So social media is interesting, and we could have an entire conversation on that. And then after that, there's various smaller pieces of the pie, which Google paid traffic, and then it goes down and down and down and down from there. So that adds up to about 100% if you look at the entire thing. But yeah, it's mainly Amazon directly, Google, then affiliates, and then social media. And social media is broken down into various different categories as well, because some social media sites are diverting more traffic and sending more traffic than other social media sites.
Yeah, okay. So let's dig into, obviously, things in order that they come up in terms of how big they are. It doesn't necessarily mean how winnable they are for us, I guess, as third-party marketplace sellers. But first thing, Google, is that something we can do anything about, or is that just purely in Amazon's hands and Amazon's relationship to Google, or Google's indexing of Amazon? Is that just a fait accompli that we can't change?
I don't fully know the answer to that, but I can tell you what we're doing. So here's the thing. Before we even get into these outside traffic sources, I think it's important for people to know that, because it could be overwhelming to know of all these opportunities to get traffic. But I think it's really important to first dial in your listing and then dial in your internal placement on Amazon, your PPC, and your headline search ads. Get all that stuff working first, and then say, all right, okay, that's done. I've got a great listing. I'm ready to dial and drive traffic to that listing with whatever methods there are out there available to me. So if that's going to be Google, what you can do is, and Michael, maybe you can put this in the show notes. If you put in the search site, Amazon.com, and then / the keyword that you're looking for. Now, I think I have that right, but if not, I will tell you, Michael, the exact way to do that. And
we'll put it in the show notes. Yeah, that would be
ideal.
Yeah.
Then you could actually see if your keyword is indexed on Google, and it may not be on the first page, but likely the one that is performing the best is on the first page. You may have to search for that particular keyword, and you're going to find that link that Google has indexed, that Amazon link that Google has indexed. And that's the link that you want to start to drive traffic to, in hopes that you get that first placement for that keyword when somebody searches for it on Google. I hope that makes sense to everybody. So people are searching for something on Google. Google has a particular link that's indexed, an Amazon link that's indexed. It's your mission to find that link, and then you want to start to drive traffic to that link so that Google will deem it more relevant than your competitors. Typically, there's only 1, 2, maybe 3 Amazon listings on the first page, 3 if you're lucky. Our main key, product only has 1 Amazon product on the main page, and it's not even us. So I'm letting you guys know that we do not have a direct answer for this. It's all SEO, and I am not an SEO expert. But the point is, you want to find that link and then let your SEO team or your SEO guy or gal take over from there, and then do whatever they can from an SEO perspective to start to drive traffic and visibility to that link, so Google gets you higher up in rankings for that particular link.
Okay, that's fair enough. And, it's good to be clear about what you are and are not a specialist in. But nevertheless, even as a strategy, I mean, it had never occurred to me, even though I've got a podcast and therefore spend a lot of time thinking about Google SEO. Although, having said that, I'm a much more expert still on Amazon than I am, I think. The Google system is more sophisticated. But even knowing that you've got to A, find your link, and B, drive traffic to that is a very outsourceable thing. But to strategically know that it's the thing you should be doing and can do in the first place, that's a really valuable insight. So I guess what we've said is, okay, from this point on, we're going to hand it over to an SEO person, and that's not you and that's not me. So we can probably move on from the Google piece unless you have any other things to say on that one.
Well, there's more actually. So if you go to answerthepublic.com and you type in your main keyword, you can actually see what people are searching for on Google. And then you can start to optimize your Amazon listing with those particular phrases, those search phrases, and that may be picked up on in Google. You can also optimize your Amazon listing for Google searches. So there's various things that you can do. You can upload a PDF into your Amazon Seller Central that has those Google searches in it. You can optimize your listing. Like I said, ask a question that has that Google search that's in the question into your listing. You can go in and rename your images. A lot of people just upload their images as number files, and I'm guilty of that 100%. But now we're going back and we're putting in keywords anywhere we can, sort of get that keyword density and also get these Google searches into some of the keywords because it's driving traffic. And you can put in, there's lots of things that you can do. And like I said, I'm not an SEO expert, but just think like when you're optimizing your listing, take advantage of what's there for you, and think outside of the box of just Amazon. There's also some room to grow outside on other search platforms.
Absolutely. And just a reminder of renaming your images. Somebody in the 10K Collective has basically been writing kind of mini essays in their images, which apparently is legit and works. So you can apparently get a hell of a lot of keywords in there, not just a simple name. So that's something you might want to be split testing, I guess, with your turnover. You'll probably get quite a significant result if that happens. So there's always ways to play this. As you say, you can end up with so many areas. You need to get an SEO expert eventually, but that's fantastic. Okay, great. Any other Google love that you can throw at this? This is good stuff.
Right now, that's all that's coming to my mind. There might be a couple other things, but I think we covered the majority of it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But I think, again, as much as anything, a lot of the breakthroughs that I get sometimes listening to a podcast is when you just, it makes you realize that something exists that you hadn't even thought of, or that it's significant. I mean, like, who knew that 30% of the traffic to Amazon came from Google? And as soon as you said it, it's kind of obvious, but I didn't actually know it. And somehow mentally I'd file that as other stuff. Amazon, Google is other stuff. So as soon as you know that A, it exists, and B, it's possible, then all you got to do is sometimes go to Fiverr, right? Fiverr.com, and just say, right, okay, somebody do this for me. And that's probably just meat and drink for a lot of people. So I'm sure the implementation of it isn't that hard, actually. But even thinking of doing it is the important thing. All right, so that's Google, obviously very, very important. So then we were talking about affiliate sites, and you were tantalizingly saying that you can get in front of those guys somehow. Tell us more about that.
Right. So the key right there, and I asked my SEO guy who remains anonymous, he's got 20 years of experience, and they have a lot of secrets in that industry. They don't like to share. But his big thing with this was, I asked him, well, how do I reach out to these affiliates and get my basically get my product mentioned on the first page of Google? So if somebody's typing in grill brushes and there's an article on grill brushes that's an affiliate site, what do I do? How do I get there? And his answer to me was, be the best in your category and they'll write articles for you and you won't even have to worry about it. I was like, okay, well, that's not really something I can help people out with. But just to let you know, that actually happened to us. We have a new product that's different, unique, that has really high conversions. And if you type in our main keyword, you will see 2 different affiliate sites that direct traffic directly to our products. And I can't even tell you guys how much that has improved our Amazon organic ranking, just to get that outside traffic influence and that trigger to the A9 from outside affiliate sites. That being said, the key takeaway there is to have a product that doesn't stink, and one that's different and unique, that's worthy of sending traffic to. If you're selling the same widget as everyone else, why would you expect an affiliate to send traffic to your widget? The other thing is know your conversions. So if you have a really high product that's converting really, really well, Well, that's incentive for somebody to send traffic to your listing because they're going to make money if you have a listing that converts. If you have one that's like 10%, it probably isn't good. But there's some listings are converting at 20, 30, 40, 50. I heard as high as 70% at an event I went to over the weekend. So if you have a product that's converting really well, that's fuel that you're going to bring with you when you go to reach out to some of these people to write these articles for you. The other thing you can do is go to thomason.com and you can actually leverage that because there's ways to get in front of some of these influencers to go there and pay for an unboxing video or pay for a mention and pay for an article written. All of these different things you can do on thomason.com. And there's actually other sites as well. I think one's Upfluence, and somebody mentioned another one over the weekend that I forget. It's passing my mind. But the main thing is have a great product that's worthy of mentioning and writing about.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And that ties in with that old, I suppose, old now, Seth Godin quote, which is, if you want to get remarked on, be remarkable. In other words, literally, something that people remark on, like, oh, cow, purple cow, as in his Purple Cow, famous marketing book, right? So I guess that if you have boring cat product, wow, what is that boring cat product? Then if you're the wow, what is that thing, you're automatically going to get talked about, right? So I guess that's what you're implying. It's that whole Purple Cow strategy.
Yes.
Which is so important on Amazon because everyone gets into the Me Too boring product strategy because that's what is available in China. And so we just get seduced by the ease of that. And also there is something very counterintuitive. What's the word? Counter your instinct as a human being, because we're pack animals really, to go, well, everyone's going that way and I'm going to go this way. It feels very scary for new sellers as well, I have to say. I was trying to persuade someone this morning, as we talked about in a previous episode, so actually do the opposite to what everyone else was doing, and he looked a bit shocked by this idea. So I think there's some mentality shifting that goes into that as well. So that's amazing that you actually managed to get that to happen. Tell us a little bit more about the details. You don't have to give away your product. I know this is a non-done thing in the Amazon world, but what do you think made your product so different that people actually organically talked about it without you approaching them, if I understand?
Well, it's funny you said that, the Purple Cow thing, and completely going the opposite direction. I came out with a product that I had no idea if it was going to sell. I didn't have a market really it was the first product I came out with, so I couldn't even ask my current audience if they thought it was a good idea. I just kind of went with my gut instinct at the time. And I went with a product that I thought could be a hit, and I was very unsure about it. But I knew right away once we launched that it was going to be a hit. And then we were early in, like about 2015, 2016. So like we had a bunch of history, and now we got a bunch of reviews, and then affiliates just kind of picked up on it and then started writing about it. So we got a lot of that naturally. So now it's probably a little bit easier to test out a product idea. You can go a different way, but then ask people if they feel it's a good idea, or just use your current audience to ask them if it's a good idea. Ask people what they want. Dig into products to find out what's really missing in this product. Where is there a gap in the marketplace that you can fill? And that's your best shot at really getting people to talk about your product. That's really what I got on this topic.
Excellent. So that's on the affiliate side of things. And I have to say that influencer marketing is next. And I'm in a way surprised to find that that's only 3 to 4%, because for me, that feels like, well, I suppose we talked about social media. So maybe I'm jumping the gun and putting two things together.
You're right. So social media is the next, and that's 3 to 4%. But that's broken down into the subcategories. Basically, YouTube, Facebook, and Reddit provide the most social media traffic to Amazon.
Right. Okay. And do you have particular strategies that you would use to approach each one of those, or do you think it's basically the same thing?
Right. So this is the big shock to people. The biggest driver of traffic from a social media perspective to Amazon is YouTube. So a lot of people think it's Facebook, but Facebook is about half or a little less than half of what YouTube, the amount of power behind YouTube is fantastic, is enormous. So there's a lot of strategies you can utilize there. The one strategy we recommend is if you're coming out with a blog post, we use a tool called Lumen 5, which can take a blog post and quickly and easily make a video from that blog post. It's very simple. You can outsource it. It looks great if you make it right. And then you want to find out what people are searching for on Google, on YouTube rather, and then make a video around that particular search term, and then start to get traffic to that YouTube video because you know people are searching for that. And you can actually put a link into your YouTube video that directs people to Amazon, which is what you want to do. And the way we tell people to do that is to come up with a two-step URL link that they can put inside of their YouTube video, which is super important because then you're going to get not only traffic to your Amazon listing, but you're also going to get potentially keyword ranking effects from that two-step URL. All right, so the process is come out with a blog post, which you can leverage in many ways. Lumen 5 turns that into a video. Make sure you're going after and targeting keywords that people are searching for. On YouTube, you can use answerthepublic.com or Keyword Planner to give you those search terms, and then use a link that directs people to Amazon. That's a two-step URL, which is really helpful. And then figure out a way to drive traffic to that YouTube video. I like to do an Amazon giveaway. A giveaway is helpful because you can get thousands of YouTube reviews in a couple of days because you're giving away a product. And one of the ways to give it away is to have people to look at a YouTube video. So this is a great way to rank that video. Now YouTube sees it as a relevant video, and now you can get some traffic in there in the YouTube platform to your Amazon listing in a natural way. So that was really helpful for us. And yeah, YouTube rank is also another science, just like SEO. So you may want to hire somebody who knows specifically how to rank those videos that you make.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I suppose it's a question of being humble enough about when you don't know something, so you can have the idea of doing it and then the implementation. Again, I suspect that because it's such an obviously standardized thing, that depending on how big it is and how much the budget makes sense, you could probably hire someone in Fiverr to do some of the basics of that, I would suspect. Is that your experience? Have you kind of used fairly inexpensive labor on that, or have you found that you need to actually spend the money on specialists for that?
Well, we're hiring somebody that from sellervideorank.com. I'm not sure if they're taking on new clients, and they've been working with us for the last 3 weeks. So I can't tell you like how great they're doing yet because it's so early. But yeah, I assume there's people who specialize specifically on white hat guys, YouTube video ranking techniques that you can find on Fiverr or Upwork or something like that. So yeah, that's probably a great idea.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, although ultimately if it works, you probably do want to buy in some expertise if it's worth scaling up. But okay, interesting. So what other social media plays would you say are worth going for Amazon sellers?
All right, so Facebook is a big driver of traffic to Amazon as well. And that's a whole other beast. So the way that we're using Facebook right now is we are using it to build up our audience. We're using it to drive traffic to our Facebook group, and we're inviting people that only fill out particular questions. And if they fill them out, they're in. If they don't fill them out, well, goodbye, because you're probably not going to be interested in what we have to offer. So they join this group, and now we have a growing list of people who are in love with our, hopefully, in love with our brand line. And then we can use that to launch new products, get ideas about new products, build up a loyal fan base. There's so many different ways that you can use it. So that's what we're doing. We're using Facebook mainly more for audience and then driving traffic to Amazon, whereas we're using Google and Facebook more to drive direct traffic to Amazon with direct sales. The other thing is we're building up our ManyChat, our audience bot list, and we are figuring out a way to also incorporate our blogs through ManyChat, and just really building up a good online presence and social branding on Facebook rather than direct traffic. But I mean, you could do it either way. If you've got that dialed in, you could do that too. I've never had really great success sending direct traffic from Facebook to Amazon. Personally, I have not been able to dial that in.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? So I know lots of people who've done Facebook to Amazon stuff, and actually it was kind of the magic thing 2 years ago maybe, and I still think it's a very good way to get some really fantastic launch and ranking in a lot of cases. It's possibly in some cases that I know of that is more effective than Amazon ad spend, although it's not like that you have to choose between them. But yeah, as an ongoing strategy, I think it's very hard to make it work in terms of the figures. I mean, that's almost more a Shopify strategy. But what you're doing is basically building an audience. So it's more of an off Amazon play, really, isn't it? And longer term play from the sound of it. You're building a massive followers and fans, and then over time hopefully you can monetize that and you kind of own it. I mean, you don't completely own it because it's on Facebook's platform, but at least it's not on Amazon, who's probably out of all the big internet players the most control freaky, right, in my experience.
Right. So you can build up that audience in several ways. You can target people who have visited your site or made a purchase, and then retarget them with an invite to your group or a ManyChat invite, and then build up a really good group of people. Also, you can get a list of people who have purchased your products from Amazon through some of these third-party tools, and then about 50 to 60% of those emails you can link up to on Facebook and find those people who have made a purchase and go after that group of people. Now you're off of Amazon, you're on Facebook, and you're just building up your list. And I find even in all of our businesses that the money is in the list of people.
Yeah, but in this case, it's purely, just to clarify, it's a list of Facebook subscribers and ManyChat subscribers rather than email subscribers. Is that accurate?
Right. Yeah. So our main target is email, ManyChat, and also Facebook groups. Those are our three, and pixelated pixels. So if we know that we're building those four things, if they're growing, then we know that the next product that we launch and we send people from those three lists to Amazon, we're going to be much more likely to succeed, get those reviews right away, get some keyword ranking right away. So that is our strategy.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Yeah, it's because it's basically having more sources of traffic, but which you at least control to a degree, even if it's on Facebook. Tell us a little bit about ManyChat. Funnily enough, another Mike Yang is from ManyChat, is one of our next guests. But how do you personally use ManyChat? Because there's a lot of buzz about it, which is why we got Mike coming on. What is it that you have used that for that you found successful?
We're building it. We're using it to get people to subscribe to one of our big blog posts. So like we have a PDF on litter solutions that we give away. So we have people opt in for that PDF on litter solutions, and then now they're part of our ManyChat group. And then we send them through a ManyChat flow, which is an upsell to one of our products. So that's how we build it up over time. And that's the main way we've been using it. We've also been using it when we release a blog post. So we do a broadcast, and we tell everybody about our new blog post. We haven't yet used it to launch a product or to get any quick sales or anything like that, because we don't have that many people yet, and we're still learning the platform ourselves. So there's probably dozens of more ways to use it, and I'm sure your audience will really get a lot out of your next interview coming up.
Yeah, I think, but that ties in very neatly. But I think it's always interesting to talk to real sellers who are actually doing stuff and the user experience and your experience, as opposed to just the person who's obviously built the platform. Because in a way, they probably can't see the wood for the trees because they know it so fluently. I mean, but that's quite an interesting, very, very specific thing that you've done that actually works. So people opting for a PDF. Very interesting. So this is starting to feel more like, as somebody who runs a podcast and a blog, that this is starting to feel like the old division between the selling people purely a physical product and that's it is starting to break back down into the usual sort of internet marketing funnel, which is to say you give people free information up front, and then you have a flow of some description, whether it's in emails or in this case a chat, that you then upsell into things. And that sort of starts to feel like it's connecting the dots. Would you say that sort of resonates for you?
Yeah, so we're building a brand. We're building brand awareness. We're providing value. We are building an audience, all of these different things versus just sort of thinking long-term versus the near term of just making the sale. Because we know that ultimately long-term, having a fan base is going to be amazing for many, many, many different areas of our business. So we're thinking, how can we just provide tons of value to that fan base every single day?
Yeah, makes total sense. And that's really interesting. That also ties in with the last episode we did, the interview with Jason Miles, and we were talking about the divide between digital and physical products. And actually there isn't really a divide. And if you look on Amazon, for example, books are both physical products and of course famously digital products in the case of Kindle books, which are sold alongside on the same listing as a physical book. And this is another crossover between those two worlds, in the sense that you're giving somebody a PDF, which is a free digital product, and then you're upselling them into a physical product on Amazon. So it's starting to tie together. So I think if we have a sort of triptych of Jason, you, and then Mikhail Yang, that's going to be very, very interesting listening for everybody. So fantastic to have you on. Very thought-provoking and amazing to hear some of those statistics about where the traffic comes from. That's incredibly valuable. So thanks so much for bringing your insights, Mike. And just a couple of questions. First of all, just a reminder to people that we're going to put a link through for free resources, and I believe possibly some reductions as well for those who wish to subscribe to PPC Entourage at amazingfba.com/. Entourage, Entourage, and any other things that you're going to have waiting, any goodies that you're going to have waiting for amazing FBA listeners and viewers there.
Right. So there'll be a nice little discount there for you. And also the blueprint, access to the blueprint, which is what we follow with our management team. We have a full team that manages lots of PPC accounts. This is the blueprint that we follow, and then we go from there. So you'll have free access to that and also the fundamentals course. So if you're new to PPC, you know nothing about it, the fundamentals course will take you about an hour and a half to get through, and you'll know about more than about 95% of people after that course. There's quizzes, it's fun, it's interactive. So that course will also be included. Also, the headline search swipe file. If you go there, you'll see about 50 different swipe headlines that you can use, plug in and play, and you can use that to build out your headline search ads. So that's all available. I think you said amazingfba.com/entourage.
That's right. Yes. I was going to say / I mean, I think that's the normal, whichever way the normal slash is. Yeah. That's fantastic. So the other thing is just to ask where you can be found online if people want to connect with you or find out more about you.
Right. So you can email me at mike@ppcentourage.com. And also you can find me on Facebook, Mike Zagare, or we have a VIP community, PPC Entourage VIP community. You can feel free to join. And I'll see you guys out there.
Excellent. Yeah, good stuff. So just remains for me to say, Mike, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your insights and some very thought-provoking ideas, as well as what I really love is some stuff you've actually implemented yourself as an Amazon seller. So you've really got your feet on the ground. So there's some fantastic value that you brought today. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Thank you, guys. Talk to you all soon.
Been a pleasure. Thanks very much, Mike.